Hello folks, and welcome to this very, very important and eventful moment in the history of Crusader Kings 3. As you can see by the title, we are going to become Hellenic today. Now before we set off, there are a couple of things I kind of have to explain. First of all, this is technically not a series, but if you do want to watch what I've done before in this particular save, you can go back down to the links in the description below, and you can see how I reformed the Roman Empire and I mended the schism. That said, some stuff has actually happened. Because if you actually watch the Mending the Schism episode, you will notice that the character here on the save screen is not the same as the one we left off with, and, well, it's kind of weird because what happened was I was messing around with the saves. I made a copy of this cloud save onto my desktop. I messed around with it, creating new religions, kind of experimenting with how I could become Hellenic again. Because I had to open up the console commands to give myself some more piety to experiment around with stuff, right? However, I was like, okay, that will not mess with my original cloud save, because I've renamed the save, so it shouldn't really do anything. And it hadn't done anything before. I've experimented with it before like this, but maybe some patch, I don't know, maybe version 1.0.3 actually mended this or made it into some weird thing where it turns out it did mess with my original cloud save. So everything I had done in my other save was messed with in the original cloud save. So things have changed, and I'm going to go through them as we take a look here. I don't really know how much larger the empire is at this moment. It doesn't really matter. This strategy should work even at the very beginning of the game, okay, in the 867 start. So we are Isaakios of the Roman Empire. We're 12, and our grandfather was the former Basileus. He's Helios the Ecumenist, the one who mended the Great Schism before the schism actually even happened. What happened, though, is if you take a look at the religion here, you can see that there's something called Christianity, and this is a new faith that I created in the altered save game that had more, or some stuff, or the tenets at least were closer to the tenets in Hellenism, because we have esotericism and astrology. I think communal identity is also in the Hellenic faith. I just wanted to check how much the cost reduction would be. Turns out you can only reform the faith once per lifetime, and, you know, it was in a save that I thought wasn't going to be messed up. So unfortunately, this also means that even though it says here, if we click achievement, it says achievements available, Iron Man enabled. But as I click achievements, you can see that nothing really happens. So this Iron Man game is definitely kind of broken. However, I have not changed anything other than this Christian faith. I mean, this guy already had immense amounts of piety. I went down the whole of body tree that made him live quite a long time, and he actually amassed even more piety. So this is actually technically realistic within the realm of what he could have done. Nothing else was really changed. As you can see, when we just inherited everything that the other character kind of already had, except piety, of course, but money-wise and in terms of land. I actually debated whether this strategy was... I was going to show it from a new save or this old save. I'm going to do it in this old save just because it's kind of fun. I mean, there is no current achievement to get the Hellenic faith in Crusader Kings 3, but, you know, since that's not a thing yet, it doesn't really matter what kind of save we use, even though, unfortunately, this kind of is broken. Also, it's kind of broken because of the Pope, which was also one of the reasons I didn't want to do it with this save and start with something new, but we're going to do it with this one for now at least and see where it goes. Anyway, I've been talking for way too long. What's the gist of the strategy? Well, it turns out, and this is not just my idea, this has been something that several members of the community have been thinking about for a while now, but basically we've talked about how high the cost of reformation to a dead faith is, especially if you're feudal. But if you are, say, the Roman Emperor, and you want that cost reduced, well then maybe, of course, you go over to a non-reformed faith. Okay, what faith would that be? We've seen in previous videos of mine that the cost from Taltoism to the Hellenic faith, at least as of release, was probably the lowest around. I think it was 35,000 Piety, which is still quite a ridiculous amount if you really think about it. I mean, it took us a while to get 5,000 there in the mending the schism, but I actually think 40,000 is achievable, and unlike 100,000. But turns out Taltoism here doesn't really, you don't really get that much more Piety. You get 5 extra Piety per month with auspicious birthright, and if you're a miracle worker or whatever, that's not enough. That's not even close to getting you to the 35,000. So what's the other solution? Well, as some of you may already know, and some of you have noticed, I've been focused on Scandinavia here for a while, and that's because there's the tenet of human sacrifice. Human sacrifice can give you piety instead of costing you piety. And you can also raid for captives. Now, if you put those two together, that means that you can raid for captives and execute those captives for piety. And the amount of piety you get depends on their rank. But generally speaking, you'll get anything between 25 for the lowest people to, I think it's 100 for a count, and or the relative of a count, 500 for a king or duke, something like that, and 1,000 for an emperor. So human sacrifice can get you there. Now, it's still crazy if you think, oh, I'm gonna have to execute 40 emperors. 40 emperors is a lot, because obviously we're talking about 40,000 now, because from Asatru to Hellenic it's gonna cost about 40,000. And yes, 40 emperors is a lot of people to execute, but it's not, getting 40 emperors, there are not that many emperors, it's a lot of work to get 40 emperors. There are, however, it's a lot easier to get, say you get about 50 piety per execution on average. You'll need to execute about 780 people to get 39,000 piety. So 780 people sounds like a lot, but I think it's achievable given that you do have the raid for captives casus belli, and you also tend to capture people when you are in normal wars. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the strategy. And my original thought was, I had been toying with the idea of doing a game where I start off in Scandinavia, I build up the Scandinavian Empire as Asatru, I don't reform the faith, I start raiding for captives at one point, get some holy centers in the Hellenic faith, and then basically just go Hellenic and reform the faith. However, that's a lot of work, and I could do it. I kind of want to do it at some point. Now, someone else in the comment section, I don't remember who it was, but a forum poster actually gave me the idea that, you know what, that strategy might actually be viable in the Byzantine Empire, just from the start. Because not only can you kind of force convert yourself into a different faith, but unlike what in Seagate 2 was, Dread can actually get your vassals to be, they can fear you for a long time, and the Asatru here, the Germanic pagan faith, actually has some stuff that will make it, I think it's pluralism, I'm not really sure here, but basically it will make people not really dislike you too much. So you can technically be a Norse emperor of the Roman Empire without too many penalties, and I think that's the path we're gonna take. The forum poster went by the name of N Negato, by the way, on the Paradox forums, so thank you so much for that, and also everyone else who has been suggesting Scandinavian thing as well, or not the Scandinavian thing, but the Asatru thing, because that, you know, I'm indebted to all these suggestions, and it's thanks to the input of the community that I've actually been able to then implement this strategy. Now, I've been talking for way too long. Let's get to it. First, we find someone who is super skilled and not trusting, I think it's just, that will teach us the ways of the faith. There we go. I should say, for purposes of knowing more about Hellenic Christianity here, that I actually made our family member in Francia here become Hellenic Christian. So that's just, you know, just side note in case you are more interested in the actual storyline of this world. And I created some like idea here that, you know, oh, the interpretation of Christianity which syncretized the Greco-pagan traditions in order to return to the old ways of the empire, blah blah blah. I mean, I'm 12 years old, which is a risk here. I might not be able to become Asatru in time, but we'll see. Oh right, we have the Holy Order, which didn't actually turn Hellenic Christian, so we're gonna revoke the lease from them. I'm gonna name my cat Odin for now, because, you know, we're going there. Another way to go Hellenic would also be to go full North Korea mode, like Riemann's Paradox has shown in his videos. He hasn't shown the Hellenic side of it, but I thought that, you know, obviously one way could be to do the North Korea thing. If you don't know what I mean by North Korea mode, it's of course to basically own every single holding in the country by yourself. You basically have no vassals. Ah, okay, so there's a crusade against us by our own vassal, and this is where I mean, like, the game is kind of broken, and maybe I should have done a different save, but having the Pope as your vassal, even though you're, you know, you mended the schism, is kind of weird. So, just as a plot thing here, I'm bisexual, and I'm getting a crush on my cousin. Oh no. Interesting. Cadet branches are really cool. I love the impaling. Or it's not impaling, it's quartering, rather. Ah, the Pope is my hostage. I wonder, can I make him revoke stuff? Oh, no, wait. Right. I mean, he's, technically... We're still at war, so... When the war ends, I think he'll be released. Yes! We have found the true faith. Here we go. Now, this is, going to be interesting. We're gonna have to slow down here. So, unlike CK2, you can actually demand conversion as an unreformed faith. Obviously, my vassals are not very likely to do this at the moment, but, you know, it's possible that they might. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Egypt, for example, will convert to the Asatru, so we'll do that. Let's do it, kids. Let's start gaining that dread. Let's burn the Pope at the stake for 250 piety. Excellent. Oh, yes, and because our brother-in-law, who's the Emperor of Francia here, is part of our dynasty, we can actually demand his conversion, and he will accept. Excellent. Now, our family tree is pretty crazy. Like, I haven't really thought about this, but look at this. It's just huge. Look at all the branches that have come about throughout the ages. Beautiful. Oh, I have a dog too now. Okay, Freya. I'm just gonna sacrifice everyone who isn't from any important family and doesn't really matter. Oh no, accidentally I killed a dynasty member. I was looking at it thinking, oh, I probably don't have penalties, didn't really warn me, and then of course, whoops. Oh, the dynastic kinslayer also got me less devotion, which is, yeah, don't do that. On the other hand, I'm, what, 15 and I already have 1,000 piety? This is looking good. Let's keep doing this. Alright, and I can imprison criminals. That's excellent. There we go. We are of age now. Excellent. Alright, and we can have concubines. Although, we do need the heraldry innovation because I don't... you know, when we reformed the Roman Empire, we got the whole partition thing, which is kind of stupid, since we didn't have that before. Theology focus, of course. Oh no. My cat dies. Now begins our piety farming. We're basically going to declare war for captives against a bunch of small people. Thankfully, we border a bunch of small people. But we'll declare at the same time so we can raise separate levies all over the place. And then slowly just gain captives and execute them. I'm executing so many adulterers and fornicators that it's almost like I'm going on some crazy purge of like sexual misconduct, but or sexual liberation, against sexual liberation rather, but of course I'm just here for the piety. Oh no, worsened disease symptoms, that's not good. Alright, I'm not ill anymore, excellent. That was my allies' war. Oh yes, in Wallachia I just got so many prisoners with high value. There we go, 2,000, that's good. We're on track, kind of. Ah, nice. We can execute the Dauphin, 100 piety. The other ones were 250, but you know, 100 is good. Wait, what just happened? I executed him and then the war ended. No, no, no. Inconclusively because... What? That's stupid. I'm not at war with him personally, I'm at war with his family. That's dumb. At least I got 100 from that, I suppose. It's not good enough, though. Oh, more family members that have a lot of piety possibilities here. 18 years old and already at 3,700 piety. This is going to be a journey and a half. Alright, our perks, we're of course going to rush apostate and prophet and then expand from there. Invalidated. Yeah, I know you died. Again, I'm not at war with you personally. Weird. And yeah, the whoever took over is not Norse, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh, the papacy can actually be dismantled. That is interesting. The thing is, he can't be landed, which yeah, I can't really do right now. And we also have to control all of Italy, so we need Corsica there too, I guess. Oh no, the Heno-Christian populist uprising. I hate the populist uprisings because they are so spread out in the big empire that and they also get like a lot of war score from occupation, so it's really annoying to have to defeat. Ah, another populist uprising. God damn it. Oh, how lucky I actually got the main leader of the rebellion, or one of the rebellions, in the battle here. Something I miss is just being able to have mercenaries that can be raised, or raised at all times, and which you can kind of just get around. Also, levies, because right now levies are just part of your, like, you pay for levies, and then you raise them together with your entire army, including the mercenaries. It's kind of strange, to be honest, and I don't really know. Like, it's hard to manage, especially if you want to do the kind of war that I'm trying to do now, where, you know, you just want to be able to declare war at any moment. Now you have to actually put down the mercenaries, declare the war, raise the mercenaries again, and so on and so forth. We're finally high medieval, so let's start focusing on heraldry ASAP. Alright, I just unlocked Apostate, which gave me a nice discount of 5,000 piety. Very nice. I'm already a dynastic kinslayer, right? So if I do it again, shouldn't be too much of a problem, would it? Let's see. Ah. It's a sinful act. Did I lose piety? No. I only lose devotion, which honestly, obviously it's good for the clergy opinion and whatever, but it doesn't really matter for us right now. Oh, I love when I see a 250 piety person to kill. Normally it's children. I don't know what's up with that. My sister tried to murder me. I'll make her regret this. Can we imprison... Oops. Alright, she isn't in my court. She would accept an invitation, but it's kind of weird that she would want to kill me, given the high opinion. We shall name our son and heir Augustus, because, you know, we're almost there. 2 of my raids ended inconclusively, but the rest worked out pretty fine, so we have 9,400 piety, and we're still only 26. That's 10 years for 10,000. We need to get to like 35. I think we can do this at this rate. Oh, we can go on a pilgrimage. Didn't know you could do this as an Asatru. Sigtuna, Brunswick, Rofskilde. We're going to Upplanding, Sigtuna, of course. Oh no, I'm sick. But we're gonna keep traveling. I like piety. Excellent. We've walked the holy path. Let's raid some captives in a little bit of a bigger country here. An empire, to be more precise. Let's go. Oh no, my son, Augustus, is probably not my child. Oh. You're still sleeping with him, aren't you? I mean, she's my soulmate. Come on. I'll just hope we have another son, and then I'll disinherit Augustus. I think if I get around 1,000 piety per year, we'll be well on track. Oh, nice. Sweet, sweet piety. 500. Excellent. Oh, another 500 one. Perfect. 12,000 already. Excellent. Our mother, the Duchess of Bourbon, has passed away, so let's give it to her. Or, sorry, to this person here. Give away her realm. As much as profit is great, we're going to do that after we have the whole of body, because I want to make sure that we live a long time. And profit is only when we're actually, if we reform the faith after converting to it. Some unconventional knowledge, so I can get 100 piety, which I really like piety, or I can gain focused reading, and then maybe something happens. Oh god, I think I'm gonna go for the focused reading. 13,000, I think we're on track here. You know, we're gaining a good amount of piety from this war. I mean, it's just mostly attacking the big players might actually be better than attacking small players, because you can occupy so much stuff and get so many people to execute along the way. Oh, a populist faction. Why? I was about to complain about how many garbage prisoners we got. They were all lowborn. But then we got a prince. A son. Oh, the heir. Yes. Oh. There we go. We'll do a quick Lotharingia war here, I think. Ah, glorious. We got some heirs here to Lotharingia, so we get that. Oh, glorious. Why are you? Ah. You're Hellenic Christian, but only 50. I've gained obese. Oh, this is terrible. Is it because I'm an eager reveler, probably? Oh, no. So, I've discovered mystical knowledge. I think we're gonna experiment a little, because I'm not gonna eat piety. I'm gonna get one extra lifestyle perk, but I could just learn more, and that sounds very interesting. No, apparently it didn't really work out, and I gained dangerous habits for 5 years. Oh, I accidentally killed another dynasty member. It doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, whatever. She was a genius, though. What have I done? Populist uprisings can... I hate it so much. Why? I know, yes, they should be in the game, but it's so frustrating to have to deal with all these peasants and people rising up. We have a second son. We shall name him Justinian. Also, he did not get any of the traits that I was hoping for. So hopefully he doesn't get disputed heritage, but once we start feeling old, we're definitely gonna disinherit one of them. Apparently we had an outbreak of bubonic plague that they didn't even tell me about, but okay. Again, accidentally killed a family member, or a dynastic relative, rather. I hate this. I don't understand why some things are invalidated. Oh, you know what? If I unpause... when I've won a sacrificial war, then... Right, then I already have all the captives, but if I kill everyone before I am paused, then the war continues. I see. Well, we're kind of on target, I think. Let me do some calculations here. At the current pace in the last 10 years of gameplay, we would get enough piety by the age of 63, I think. I think it's time to go for the Abbasids again, because that's where we got the most piety before. I wish I could keep a count on everyone I'm executing. I mean, it is definitely... I think it's gonna... Obviously, we've already passed the hundreds, but 780 if the average is 50, just to get there, and I think... Sometimes we do have a lot of 25s, so I don't know. But I would guess that the average is about 50 piety per execution. In CK2 there was a thing at the end where you could actually see everyone you'd kill, or you had killed in a little thing on the side. Ah, Alexios here is actually a proper son of mine, I think. Julius, may you grow strong and wise. Still only at 19,000 after that war. Unfortunately, we didn't really capture that many valuable prisoners. I mean, their family's also getting smaller, I guess. Might actually be worth sometimes going and occupying everything, even though you already have 100% war score, because, you know, you might always get prisoners from some extra sieges that you wouldn't otherwise. It feels like I've been trying to lose weight for almost 10 years now, and nothing just happens. I haven't gotten a single event related to my weight yet. The Norse faith has some really weird stuff, I've realized. So, we've gotten the opportunity to practice witchcraft, but according to this, it's criminal. I don't know what they define as witchcraft, but I mean, all the rituals and stuff, I don't know. And all of this as well, like, the same-sex relations is kind of questionable if it was criminal or just shunned upon. I think it was closer to shunned upon and accepted than it was criminal, but obviously this is like a debate. I don't know. It's just weird, like the choices that were made for the Asatru, and also like the virtues, wrathful, and then if you're forgiving, it's a sin. Like, I know what they're going for, but it's kind of weird. We are of course not gonna practice witchcraft because I need to survive this game. I'm so happy I chose this to continue on the save, because starting off as Scandinavian and then doing all of this again and getting all this power and then getting to a character young enough to actually do this would have been, I mean, fun, but very tiring. Oh hey, new Abbasid Emperor. Well, sorry. We are finally gonna go high partition because we have unlocked heraldry, so let's do that. Should hopefully change a couple of things. I'm gonna disinherit two of my children here because I doubt that they're actually mine. Unfortunately, you know, great names and stuff, but the main heir is going to be, of course, Julius. Ugh, a crusade to hamper me in my expansion of piety here. Hopefully it doesn't last too long. Let's go on a pilgrimage. Where should we go? Sigtuna, we've already been. Sjöland, Brunswick. Let's go to, yeah, Roskilde. Maybe we'll have a music festival there? No? Ah, here begins another crusade. Very annoying. Oh, we're less than 10,000 away. This is fascinating. It's amazing. I love this. I don't understand. So I'm whole of body. I've gone through the entire health tree, but I'm still obese, and I've been trying to lose weight for what must be 2 decades now. Here's a UI thing that I'm still not sure about. Like, obviously I have a truce with the Caliph here, but where can I see the truce? It's not under... Do I expand? Even if I expand diplomacy, it's not here. We could revoke a province from the Pope, but other vassals might rise up. It just says that other vassals might rise up in rebellion, or will rise up in rebellion. So it's like, okay, who? First of all, would be nice to know. But alas, that's out of the question, so we're just gonna leave the Pope man on his own for now. We went to war with Lotharingia and Tahert. Tahert's war ended inconclusively, but Lotharingia gave us quite a few princes worth 250 there to kill. And we can go back to the Abbasids. Oh, poor Abbasids. I kind of feel bad for them. I really wish my save game still worked, though, for achievements. It would be really nice. I would probably have unlocked quite a few here, like the Dread one. Definitely. Julius, greatness awaits you. Of course it does, my son. These constant rebellions, I swear. Oh, I hate it. Only 6,000 away now. I swear the cost had been lower at some point, but oh well. Now, also, I think we're gonna get some extra piety on top of the missing piety, just so we can reform the faith straight away. 33,000 piety, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there. Almost. Damn it! We did get a lot of piety by invading Wallachia, but I was in a war with Tahart and Poland as well. Unfortunately, the Wallachian one auto-resolved because I pushed it a little bit too far, and then we got 2 inconclusive ones, which sucks. But we're so close now. Thankfully, it seems that when it invalidates, you don't actually get a truce, so we can just go again. So I went on a hunt, and it turns out someone spilled the beans about my wife. Turns out another of their children, or our children rather, Antonia, is actually with another lover. My god, my Belissa has been sleeping with everyone, but thankfully I do really think that Julius here is ours, because he's both comely and Herculean, so Herculean from her, and then comely from us. Let's expose this and see. It's gonna be, it's only gonna be disputed heritage, I suppose. But, wait, nothing changes? Yeah, it's disputed. It's not certain. Alright, I think this might be one of our last wars, at least before we get to the base level, before the Reformation costs. So yeah, hopefully we're, about to do it now. Look at that, 36666. Oh, alright, this is a Duke. Nice. I was about to do it again. I was about to kill a relative. But this one's even from my own house and my niece, so I'm not gonna do it this time. Oh, 494 left. This is so crazy. I can't believe we're actually doing this. Oof. We are gonna go on a pilgrimage, of course. Where should we go now? We've been Sigtuna, Roskilde, Brunswick. It's a bit too close, because I want the most piety possible, so we're gonna go back to Sigtuna. We liked Uppland. Sympathy for heathens. I mean, we've been killing hundreds and hundreds of people in the name of the Norse gods, but maybe, for role-playing, we're starting to realize that maybe the ancient gods that our father was speaking of, or rather our grandfather was speaking of when he created his new faith, maybe there's something to it, Oh my god, I just got the piety from the pilgrimage. My god, it's very late at night right now. I've been playing for a long time, and we can finally do this. Of course, I'm gonna wait a little bit because I still need the Reformation costs. I don't really know how much I should save up. Maybe 5,000 should be enough. I do have the cost modifier bonus though, so we'll see. We're 59, so we're behind, or we're ahead of schedule rather. We did it. Very nice. I think our last war should probably be against the Abbasids. If we don't have enough piety by then, we'll probably go and raid Nubia again or something like that. And of course, just as I'm raising my troops, the Italian Heno-Christian populists decide to rise up. This man has been on a diet or losing weight rather, for decades, for most of his life, and yet he's still obese. Like, what does he do? If he's not eating, and he's exercising, so hence losing weight, how is he still obese? 40,000 piety. That's not enough though. I think we need more for the Reformation. Oh, we got a bunch of very good prisoners here. Look at that. Oh, wow. Very nice. We're almost there. I kind of want 43,000 just to round it off, you know. Our last war will be against this little county over here. Useless. Should be very quick. We'll get maybe 1 or 2 people, and then we'll have enough. Ugh. Why? Why? On a positive note, we have our 43,000, so once this peasant war is over, we will be done. The Heno-Christians and the Orthodox have been fighting us with bitter resentment and fear, because they know what's coming. They know what Emperor Isaakios has been trying to do this entire time. The last execution, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. The rebellious leader. Boom. There we go. After a victorious march through the streets of Rome, we have finally come to this. It's incredible. I am actually... This is insane. 43,000 piety, ladies and gentlemen. That is nuts. I mean, this man has spent his entire life not in the pursuit of expanding the empire, but in the pursuit of capturing people and sacrificing them to the gods in order to build up his piety to such tremendous levels that he is basically a god before men. This is it. We are converting to Hellenism. Now, some people will not convert, and they're mostly the ecumenical patriarch, the despot of Hastaion. Yeah, who cares, right? Some mayors. Who gives a shit? Hellenic Greek. Hellenic Greek, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it. I can't... This is so beautiful. It's so late at night. I've played so much. Oh my god. This is incredible. I just wish that the save still worked for achievements. Obviously, there's no achievement at the moment for this, but still, you know. Wow. And we can actually appoint our own court chaplains, etc., etc. But that doesn't really matter, right? We're gonna go through this in a bit, and we're gonna reform the faith right off the bat. Wait, I just realized that well, maybe I didn't on pause, but the piety is still there, so that extra 5,000 piety we went for was totally useless. Anyway, we're gonna reform, and obviously I think everyone understands that this is the end of this particular save game, so it doesn't really matter what we reform to. I've had a lot of fun with this though, but as you can see, almost none of my vassals will go with me because everyone hates me. Why do they hate me? Well, I've been waging war my entire life. And as a Norse pagan, that's fine, but everyone else hates it, so the moment they became Hellenic, apparently they're like, wait, you've been waging war for all this time? That's terrible. So, yeah, kind of annoying. But we're going to keep communal identity, esotericism, and astrology. You can always change these, of course, if you haven't seen this before. I think one day I do want to play Hellenic again, but properly. But it's not going to be on this save game. It's not... It's broken at the moment. I mean, this entire save is just crazy. But we're going to just change to equal... views on gender. I know it's not very realistic, but whatever. We're making our faith with 43,000 piety. We are a god on earth. We can say whatever the hell we want. Religious attitude, righteous, because, you know, easier to convert stuff, I guess. Unless, yeah, pluralism, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Lay clergy and temporal, I think, is kind of cool, because then we get to become the head of the faith. It's almost like we suddenly realize that to reform Hellenism, there must be a strong head of the faith, like a pope, but we're a caliph. And so, taking on that tradition, Isaakios here has decided that he will lead the faith, and he will be Zeus on earth embodied. Consorts and concubines always allow divorces, legitimize bastards. I'm not going to mess with this, although it's always fun with unrestricted marriage and divine marriage that you can choose with that. Leaving everything else as is, accepted witchcraft, same-sex marriage, shunned adultery, and yeah, everything's just the same. The virtues are gluttonous, or rather sins are gluttonous, greedy, and arbitrary, and virtues are temperate, generous, just, and being a wise man. Should we do it? I'm gonna do it. Boom. Empress Dorothea of Francia is my new heir. Yeah, I guess because now we don't have male preference. Automatically it went over to equal. Yeah. Obviously you can still change this, but I guess females will not like that. But it's even better. I mean, if we were to continue on the save, Empress Dorothea is married to the Emperor of Francia matrilineally, and he's also Macedon, so it doesn't really matter. And then we'd get an heir that's actually of both, and East and West would be reunited again. Someone did mention a thing, that constructing a special building here in Attica, it's one of the holy centers here, and you'd imagine that maybe it has to do with being Hellenic, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I've reformed now, so maybe it's not possible as reformed. I should have checked before we did that. But, yeah. Also here, not possible either. But maybe there are some events that allow you to do that. The Hellenic High Priesthood. How nice. We could rename it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, unfortunately. We are, in fact, going to wrap up here. As I've been saying, I mean, this has been a very long episode, very eventful. Many years have passed. Although, everything within the lifetime of this one man, which is quite incredible. Isaakios of the Hellenic High Priesthood. What an individual. First, converting at a young age to Asatru, and then amassing all that piety from incredible campaigns across the empire for sacrifices to finally restore the Hellenic faith and reform it under his strong leadership. Absolutely amazing, and I hope that one day Crusader Kings 3 has a better way where we don't have to break the game like this to actually do it. But if we don't have a way soon, I feel like I'm definitely gonna come back and maybe play Hellenic again through some other way, some other campaign. I think at this point I'm so powerful, and I already started off so powerful, but I'm so powerful that I don't really feel like continuing. It wouldn't be that much fun. People have talked about restoring the imperial borders, but you know, at this point it's just too easy. So I want to move on to news challenges, and I hope everyone understands. If you have any tips on any challenges, I'd love to hear. And yeah, I hope to see you later. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a pleasure. Farewell.